Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, and welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy and excited to have this wonderful opportunity to come to you on today. I am the senior pastor of the City of Hope Community Church, located in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana. The virtual pastor of Hope Nation, people all across this country that are connected to our ministry, and also your 2024 certified grief coach. And this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you brought that up. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you reveal on the outside. Therefore, you don't suppress it, but you express it. You don't ignore it, but you explore it. You don't conceal it, but you reveal it. You don't lock it up, but you let it out. And that's why around here we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. I want to thank you for joining us on today as we did prepare to lead you in a special way and yet another grief devotion. Welcome into this place. If you are a regular here, I want to say welcome. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome. I'm grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. Make sure you like, share, tag somebody in this. If it's a blessing to you, it's going to be a blessing to them as they navigate through grief and what they are experiencing in their life. Today, happy February, y'all. Today is day 32. We're going to talk about I Open My Heart Wide. I open up. Come on, Yolanda Adams. My heart. I open my heart wide. Let's see what this devotion is talking about today, y'all. Because I love someone deeply, I'm now grieving deeply. That's the bargain of human life. Because I love someone deeply, I am now grieving deeply. That's the bargain of human life. Y'all, that's the bargain of it all. When we love deeply, guess what? We're going to grieve deeply. That's the bargain of human life. Having the wonderful opportunity, the gift that God gives us to love, to be connected with somebody, to have minutes and moments and to create memories, to have times of food, family, fun, friends, and fellowship, right? To have those wonderful opportunities to love and to laugh and to live together, that we get that wonderful, awesome opportunity to love deeply. And oh, how beautiful it is. It is beautiful when you are able to share love with a child or a parent or a sibling, right? Or a grandchild or a friend. It is absolutely beautiful when you share those moments, you have those times. That love is deep. You love them, you appreciate them, you're grateful for them, you're thankful for them, you enjoy the time you have together. But the flip side of that coin is, y'all, because when we love deeply, when that loss, that change, that transition happens, guess what? We grieve deeply. Because the love was so intense, guess what? The grief is so intense. I know sometimes we under like, man, this hurt, this pain, why does it hurt so bad, right? Because the love was so good, because the love was so intense. And because that person is no longer here, right? And we're trying to navigate through this pivotal circumstance. We love deeply, so we deep deeply. That is the bargain of life. Remember, grief is what you feel on the inside. When you start talking about the transition that has happened, that has taken place, when you love deeply on the inside, you're going to feel that pain is going to be deep, right? It's going to be deep. And you got to remember the power and the importance of grieving is what you feel, but mourning is what you reveal. Mourning is what you express, right? You remember that you got to shift. You got to move from grief to mourning. Yeah, I'm going to say that and I'm going to say it all the time because I want you to have a clear understanding of how to navigate through this process, right? You can't suppress. You got to address and express. You can't conceal. You got to reveal. So you got to put yourself in a position to where you go from grieving, feeling, you're going to continue to feel, but you got to reveal what you feel. Release brings about relief. Check this out. Right after the loss, at first I needed to withdraw and close up my heart for a while. That's natural. It's normal. After the loss, a lot of times people withdraw. They close up their heart because you're doing what you're trying to process. You're trying to process what just happened. You're trying to process everything that has taken place. You're trying to process the loss, the change, and the transition that has taken place in your life. So a lot of times we close up our heart. A lot of times we close up our heart because we don't want to be hurt again. We close up our heart because we just opened it and now we have this gaping wound from the loss, the change, the transition. So now we close up our heart because we don't want to love that intensely, because we don't want to hurt that intensely again. So a lot of times we close up our heart. We'll shut it up. We're trying to process what just happened. We're navigating, and understand this is natural and it's normal, right? That's a natural and normal response. How do we continue to navigate through it? Right after the loss, at first, I needed to withdraw and close up my heart for a while. I needed to protect the wound from any further pain, right? I got to protect this one. You know how you have a wound and you got to treat it a certain way because you don't want it to get infected, that the wound could get even worse if you don't put some on that cut, methylate, mercurochrome, some samin salve, some peroxide. You got to put something on there. You don't want it to get infected, right? If it get infected, it's going to be an even more painful experience. So a lot of us who get affected by grief don't want to get infected, and so we close up our heart. We kind of shut down for a moment. Check this out. I needed to protect the wound from any further pain, but now I'm opening my heart back up again. My brothers and sisters, you will get to the point where you will open up your heart again. I know you might not be able to see it, you might not be able to feel it, you might not be able to comprehend it. You will get to the point where you will open up your heart again. And this only comes, here it is, that only comes when you mourn meaningfully. You remember, grief is what you feel, mourning is what you reveal, right? So you can't suppress it. You can't suppress the grief. You got to express the grief. You can't suppress the grief. You got to address the grief. You can't ignore the grief. You got to explore the grief. Some of us are ignoring it. I'm just work and I ain't going to think about it. And if I don't think about it and enough time pass, I'll be over it. No, you're not. You're going to be stuck. You're going to stall. You're going to be stagnant, right? Because you can't ignore it. You can't conceal it. I want to conceal it. No, you got to reveal it in order to heal it. Feel it, reveal it, and heal it. Relief brings about relief. That's how you get to the point to where you start to do the work on your heart so that one day you can open it up once again, right? Now I'm opening up my heart back up again. I'm mourning. There it is. Yay. I'm mourning openly and authentically. I'm mourning openly and authentically. Yeah, there's nothing more beautiful than somebody that mourns openly and authentically. Let the tears roll. Come on, let them fall down on me. Let them tears, raindrops fall on me. Come on, SWV. Let them tears roll. Have your outburst, have your expression. There's nothing like openly and authentically mourning, right? There's nothing like it. There's nothing like letting the tears roll. There's nothing like getting it out. There's nothing like cleansing your soul. There's nothing like talking about it. There's nothing like expressing your feelings. There's nothing like dialogue. There's ain't nothing like it. There is nothing like expressing outside of you what's going on the inside of you. You feel so much better. Come on. I'm telling you, when you navigate through that process, there's nothing like healing. There's nothing like healing, right? Think about it. Even when you sick and you coughing or you throwing up and all this stuff, or you blowing your nose, you getting this mucus out of you, you spit, and I want to paint this picture. It seems nasty at first. Ugh, that's nasty. They throwing up, ain't they? But you ever threw up and felt better? Come on. Have you ever thrown up and felt better after? Have you ever everybody been sick? You ever been sick and then start to come out of the funkness of the sickness, that 2 or 3 days later it starts to turn and you start to feel better? You know why you feel better? Because you done spent 2 or 3 days getting that gunk and junk up out of you. You done spent 2 or 3 days addressing the issue, taking antibiotics, spitting up, get that muke, all this stuff, throwing up. You done spent time doing all of that. And while it didn't feel good initially, it led you to feeling good eventually because you got it up out of you. I want to tell somebody, no, it may not feel good initially. The pain that you experience when it comes to grief and letting it out and talking about it and addressing it and dealing with it and going through it, nah, it don't feel good initially, right? But I promise you, I'm gonna tell you like my football coach used to say, I bet you $1 to a jelly donut, it's going to feel good eventually because you're starting to heal, because you're getting it up out of. And anybody that's on this live right now will tell you, anybody that has done the work, that has gone through the process, right? I promise you, they'll tell you, oh yeah, I feel better. I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. That it used to be dark, it used to be depressing. I used to have thoughts of suicide. I wanted to go be with them, all this stuff. I was self-medicating, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was shopping, I was sexing, I was doing all of this stuff because I just wanted to feel anything other than the pain that I'm feeling. And thank God he removed me out of that space. And no, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. I started doing the work and I have progressed, right? Y'all, it's progress, not perfection. You want to put yourself in a position to where you are moving towards better. I'm mourning openly and authentically, letting my grief feelings out, letting my grief feelings out, letting my grief feelings out. You got to let that stuff out. Ooh, you got to let that stuff out. You got to let it out. Therapist, counselor, coach, pastor, grief group. You got to let it out. Journal. You got to let it out. Paint and sip. I seen Krista on here earlier. Krista, she spoke and led a discussion, I believe, or something at a paint and sip that took place. I think it was last weekend. Happy belated birthday, Krista. That was an opportunity to let it out. People coming together, grieving and mourning, letting it out, right? For National Grief Awareness Day, we had a service and we prayed and we cried. And then we went outside and we lit lanterns in the sky. We let it out, right? Expressing outwardly what we're feeling inwardly. And that's the only way you get to better. That's the only way you get healed. That's the only way you progress on your grief journey, is you have to let it out. And I'm allowing new feelings and experiences in. I'm mourning openly and authentically, letting my grief feelings out, and I'm allowing new feelings and experiences in. When I open up my heart wide, I truly live. When I open up my heart wide, I truly live. Here's the final reflection. There's nothing more beautiful than a wide open heart. There is nothing more beautiful than a wide open heart. When I open my heart wide, I truly live. I want to encourage you. You are going to continue to truly live. I tell you all the time, you still got more chapters in the book of your life, miles on the journey of your life. There's still more life for you to live. That's why it's important for you to heal and navigate and go through this process. Continue on your grief journey, because some of you, contrary to popular belief, some of your best days are still ahead of you. I know some of y'all can say, I'll never be happy again. I'll never smile again. I'll never love again. I'll never do the grief work and find out what's going to happen. Your heart start to heal. Oh, come on. Who? What? Huh? I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to told you one time for the one time. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Today is day 32. We talking about I open up my heart wide. Holla at your boy one time for the one time questions, comments. If you got them, holla at your boy. Questions, comments. If you got them, holla at your boy. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. Just a reminder, y'all, we are here every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our second year. Last year we did 364 devotions because I was in the ER one day. Straight 364. Today is day 32. We are here for you. We are providing a space for you to articulate, for you to reveal, for you to feel, for you to navigate through the grief that you're experiencing in your life, right? And so take advantage of this, right? I just want to be part of the team. You might have a counselor, you might have a coach, you might have a therapist, you might talk to your pastor, you might be part of a grief group. Formulate your team, right? Surround yourself with people, places, and things, such as this devotion, that will help you navigate through your journey, right? I ain't trying to take away from nobody. I just want to add value to you. I don't want nothing from you. Ain't nobody asking for nothing. Ain't nobody gonna pop up, right now and give us sow a seed. Ain't look. The only seed we sowing is wellness into your grief journey. I don't want nothing from you, right? I'm passionate about grief. I'm passionate about mental health. I'm writing my dissertation on grief, right? I don't want nothing from you. I want you to be a better version of yourself. I know what it feels like to suffer in silence. I know what it feels like to grieve and not have an outlet. I know what sorrow feels like, right? This is birthed out of that and the obedience to the Holy Spirit because he knows what I don't even fully know. I'm just trying to be obedient, right? He knows what's needed. He knows what he's doing. One plants, one water, he gives the increase, right? So I'm allowing him to have his way. Let's talk about it. Hey, Pilar Patrick. As much as I want companionship, I am so tired of the process it takes just for it to lead to nothing. Then realizing you have to start over again. Opening a repaired heart is scary. This applies to opening up your romance and new friendships. Trust is hard. You are 1,000% correct. Trust is hard, and being vulnerable can be scary, right? I want to encourage you, Miss Patrick, to whatever may have happened or transpired. You said process just to lead to nothing. Realize starting over again. I want to encourage you to whatever's happened. You want to go through the process of healing. You heal from the past, whatever has taken place, right? You learn and you allow God to lead you in the future. And it is. I mean, it can be scary. But when you understand, when you're walking with God and you're doing it with God, um, and you do the work to heal from the past, and they say when you know better, you do better. So moving forward, you move forward with a sense of wisdom, right? Um, with romance and friendships, right? You move forward and you allow God to lead the way. And ultimately, right, you trust and hope and believe that you'll land in that right spot, that right person, or even friendships. God will surround you with people that you can confide in and be vulnerable with, right? And so, but a lot of that just comes from doing the work, because a lot of times when we see things from the perspective of our wound, everything is cloudy and nothing is clear. There's no clarity, right? Nothing is clear. And so that's definitely the first part to get help and to get healed in that part, so that you can experience the greater later that God has in store for us. Do the grief work. That was good. Thank you, Miss Copes. Absolutely, and welcome. I appreciate you being here. Love this space. Thank you, Michelle Mason Smith. So glad that you're here. It's a safe place. It's a safe space. I promise you. I guarantee you. It's safe. It's a safe place, a safe space. The event was amazing. I would share my story, encourage others to see a therapist. I shared that it's okay to talk to someone. A lot of people felt better about speaking to a therapist because of me sharing my journey that they don't see outside of social media. That is absolutely awesome. Is this Krista? Is that you, Krista? Because I thought I seen. Okay. No, I don't know. Is that Krista? Because it's just coming up as Facebook user. Thank you for sharing. Don't forget to like. Yeah, it is. Okay, I don't know why. You might as well switch pages or something. Yep. I'm glad she said, yep, therapist because of shame. Yep. I'm telling you. And that's how you grow. That's how you get better. That's how you help other people, right? That's mourning outside of yourself, right? That's displaying it outside of yourself. There's gonna be unconventional ways of mourning, right? I know typically we come together, we sit in a circle, we talk, and that has its purpose. But there's other things we can do as well. It was a sip and paint, or it was something. I just seen a painting and she spoke, and I need to talk. Yeah, I need to holler at you about that format too. But there's so many different ways you can express outwardly what you're feeling inwardly. There's so many different ways you can mourn and navigate through that process, right? And so being creative with building community and a village that you values, right? A people who are dealing with similar things is so powerful in navigating through the process. Yep, please don't forget to like and share this video. Y'all, we trying to empower the people and help the people. Miss Coates, it's a real thing to grieve the life, family, career, etc. you thought you had by now. Miss Coates, we talked about this a couple of days ago. A lot of times we grieve what we had in mind. So grief deals with loss, change, and transition. I told you we primarily focus on death, but we in general we focus on everything because we here we know that grief deals with loss, change, and transition. And one of the biggest things that we grieve, right, is what we had in mind. We grieve what we had in mind. She says the life, the family, the career we thought we would have by now. And when you look at your life and you hit an age and you look around like this is not what I imagined. You look at your family, this is not what I imagined, right? Whether you ain't got no family or you had a family or you divorced or you thought your kids is gonna be good and they whatever the case may be, this is not what I imagined. Career wise, you look was like this is not what I imagined. So a lot of times we grieve what we had in mind. This is not what I had in mind. What do you do with that? How do you deal with that? You grieve it. You feel, right? You feel. You gotta go through the process of talking and working that thing out. I tell people all the time, everybody's grieving, you just don't know it. Because everybody feels a way about something. When you look over your life, you feel everybody feels right? And then you got stuff from your past that you never unpacked. You got loss, change, and transition that you never unpacked, that you never talked about, that you could never even pinpoint and put your finger on it. You didn't even know how to identify it. You didn't know it was grief. Oh, that was grief. Loss, change, and transition, that was grief. That breakup, that was grief. That betrayal, that was grief. The friendship that ended, that was grief. The friendship that you had in mind, that was grief. The person you didn't end up with, that was grief, right? That's grief. Whatever, grieving what you had in mind. This is not what I thought it would be. And now you feel like you stuck in this situation or you're just left the process. I thought I would have a child by 40. I didn't think I would be 45 and divorced. I had a child, but I didn't think that they would go the route. This is not what I had in mind, right? We grieve what we had in mind, and you got to put yourself in safe places and safe spaces where you can not just feel, but that you can reveal so that you can heal. You got to put yourself in safe places and safe spaces, right, where you can process internally, externally what you're feeling internally. You got to do the work. That's the work I'm committed to. I hope and pray that's the work you're committed to as you navigate through the loss, change, and transition that you've experienced in your life. Again, y'all, it's Pastor Corey Allen Duncan, senior pastor, City of Hope Community Church, virtual pastor of Hope Nation, and I am, whether you like it or not, I'm your 2024 certified grief coach, giving you free grief devotions and advice and lessons every single day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If this is a blessing to you, I know it's going to be a blessing to somebody else. Make sure you like and share the video. Comment on the video as well, especially if you on YouTube. It boosts the algorithm, right? So make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and make sure you come back, y'all. We here every single day at 8 a.m. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Hope and pray y'all have a thriving Thursday. Go out and make it a great day. Let's go.